Ya. Dan selamat. Oh ya, sorry.
So, Puput, I will leave my video on for now. I'll be back in a few minutes. Is that fine? Or do you need me to check anything now?
Okay, Robert.
Okay, Robert. Mr. Christanto, good afternoon in Semarang, Central Java. How are you?
Good. My video on for now. I'll be back in a few minutes. Is that fine? Or do you need me to check anything now? Is my voice here?
Oh, it's already clear.
Okay.
It's a good sound. Maybe you want to try to share maybe a display or screen.
Okay.
Yes. Ya, kayaknya udah jelas nih. Ada penambahan dari yang kemarin, Mas Chris?
Oh no.
Oh no, ada ya. Oke.
The same.
Ini sebelumnya saya perkenalkan dulu, ini ada Mbak Puput Mainis ini selaku chairman-nya. Dia mengenal Mas Ad. Lalu Mbak Petris Gabut Ratu sebagai moderator siang hari ini, mungkin nanti bisa komunikasi. Kemudian tentu yang terhormat Pak Kajur kami, Pak Kustaf.
Halo Bang Gustaf, apa kabar?
Oke.
Halo Mas Christanto, selamat siang. Apa kabar?
Siang, baik.
Tip, mantap.
Lama ya sudah nggak jumpa lagi nih.
Iya, mampirlah ke Jogja.
Iya, ini masih mau ke Jogja tapi ya masih ini ya lockdown.
Iya. Baik.
Baiklah, kita masih ada waktu 10 menit sebelum memulai. Gitu, Petris. Ada yang mau disampaikan, Petris? Mungkin ke Pak Chris atau Mr. Robert?
Belum ada sih Pak, masih nyiapin skrip bentar ya.
Oh iya. It's okay. Ngobrol lah, introducing di siapa? Mr.
Hello, Robert. Here, Christanto Hadijaya as a speaker also.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Robert. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. In Indonesia, it's 2 p.m. now, so it's afternoon in Indonesia. Yes, here I just had my breakfast. Indonesia, we gonna go to sleep. You sleep in the afternoon or? Yeah, because it's still maybe the last day of our fasting day.
Of course.
Yes.
Ramadan,
yeah. Maybe for Muslim, yeah.
Oh, today is the last day, right?
No. Tomorrow, the last day of fasting. Yeah.
So there will be a big party tomorrow.
Yeah.
How was in Netherlands, Robert? Also still lockdown?
Yes, I think there was a new lockdown end of December, and it's still very strict now. So I worked 5 days since Christmas. So I'm home almost, well, a lot. And now since a few weeks, it's a bit more easy now. So things are starting to open up, but it's very strange, you know. The big shops are open and a few hundreds of people will go to the shops, and I cannot still work with a small group. So it's, you know, it's very strange.
Yeah,
And over there,
we also.
Yeah.
Yes, we also.
There are still many cases in Indonesia, or is it getting better?
Yes, especially in Ramadan. In this condition, you know, there's a lot of people moving toward the homeland, their hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's difficult for us.
We had a lot of movement, and yes, I understand.
Yeah. Because Ramadan is the big day in Indonesia, you know that, and yeah. There's a lot of people trying to meet their family, go to their hometown, and government still spirit this. So yeah, it's tough for us.
The difficult situation for a long time already.
Yes, absolutely.
But you know, it also gives a lot of new opportunities, I think. New events, a lot of online events, and you meet many new people that normally you wouldn't have seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like now, right?
Right now, exactly.
I can see you.
You all have
far
a very
away
nice,
from Indonesia. Yes.
You have a very nice blue background.
Is the computer not given the background for you?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Daniel, maybe you can ask Mr. Daniel to send the background.
I'm not sure if I can change this.
Of course, we will send.
Oh, Daniel.
How do I change it?
You have to download first, and you can set up choose virtual background on your Zoom, and you can choose the picture.
You know, I'm still a musician, so these online things are difficult.
You have to adapt it.
I've been trying.
I have sent the background to your Instagram, Robert, because I don't have your WhatsApp. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yeah.
Wait, I type my number in the chat room. Maybe then you can text it, because that would be easy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Please. No.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I already sent. Hello, Robert. Hello. I cannot make a background. I'm sorry today because my laptop not working good.
Well, this is not good.
Yeah, you become an invisible man.
Robert,
No.
the news background, I think. Yeah,
This would be a very special experience. Wait.
yeah.
Okay, let's do it now.
Better like that, yeah. I'm sorry. Sampun, Bu.
Okay, Christanto, one question.
Yes.
I already received your PowerPoint last night, and I might use in my own talk some of these 7 souls of leadership you stated. I try to make a few links at some points, if that's okay for you.
Okay. Yeah. You can send it.
But you're the first one, so I won't steal your speech, you know.
Yeah.
Beatrice bisa jawab apa gitu? Before start, don't forget to pray ya.
Ini udah mulai apa gimana? Ditunggu jam berapa? Selamat datang untuk semua teman-teman yang datang, yang sudah masuk di ruangan webinar ya. Dan juga halo Mas Christanto, tadi belum kenalan. Hello Robert, my name is Trisha. I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. I hope my connection is good and I sound clearly.
Suara Beatrice nggak sebening tadi kita coba.
Oh ya, sekarang udah?
Tadi pakai headset nggak?
Oke. Udah jelas belum? Kayaknya karena meramai banget.
Sepertinya iya.
Oke. Selamat siang hadirin yang saya hormati. Karena waktu sudah menunjukkan pukul 2:04 WIB, izinkan saya untuk memulai webinar pada hari ini. Suara saya kedengaran jelas? Oke.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now is already 2:04 Indonesian Western Time. We also would like to say good morning to our friends in Europe and to Mr. Robert. Without further ado, let us start this webinar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Selamat datang bagi para hadirin di webinar yang diselenggarakan oleh Prodi Musik Institut Seni Indonesia Yogyakarta yang bertajuk Building Leadership Skills in the Music Community bersama narasumber kita Robbert Vos dan Christanto Hadijaya. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's webinar that is held by Music Department of Institut Seni Indonesia Yogyakarta entitled Building Leadership Skills in the Music Community with our guests Robbert Vos and Christanto Hadijaya. Oke, tanpa berlama-lama lagi, sekarang kita akan mendengarkan sambutan dari Wakil Ketua Panitia Acara. Now we will listen to the remarks from the Vice Chair of the Committee, Ms. Puput Menis Narselina. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you Patricia Gabri Ratu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, and good afternoon everyone, and good morning Robbert Vos. Yeah, greetings student, Faculty of Performing Arts, ISI Yogyakarta, Siswadi M.Sn, Head of Music Department ISI Yogyakarta, Staff S.Sn M.Sn, Secretary of Music Department, DRA Erita Rawanasitorus M.Hum. Thank you very much to Head and Secretary of Music Department who has given me opportunity to be part of this webinar committee. First, I respect all of the attendants who have attended here, especially for the all committees solid and always help to make success of this webinar. Also, I say many thanks to Robbert Vos and Christanto Hadijaya has given their time, knowledge, and all experience as a speaker in this webinar. Our theme of webinar this afternoon talk about building leadership skills in the music community. Okay, that's all for me. If you found many mistakes, please forgive me. Thank you very much for your attention. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Puput. Selanjutnya kita akan mendengarkan sambutan dari Prodi Musik ISI Yogyakarta. Next, we will listen to the remarks from Head of Music Department, Mr. Gustav. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Patricia Gabe. Good morning, Mr. Robbert Vos and Christanto Hadijaya. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Robbert Vos, and good afternoon, Mr. Christanto Hadijaya. Okay. Today's seminar is a co-curricular activity held in universities, especially in the music department, with the topic building leadership in the community. Okay. Wait a minute. This seminar is expected to broaden the horizon and motivate students to learn leadership in conducting with the speakers, Mr. Robbert Vos and Christanto Hadijaya. This event will be attended by around 100 participants via Zoom cloud. The seminar will be continued with our collaboration with the music department with Mr. Robbert Vos and Christanto Hadijaya. It is hoped that this initial collaboration will open up opportunities for the development of sustainability cooperation. Thank you. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu yang telah hadir dalam acara seminar hari ini, baik Bapak Ibu dosen, juga para mahasiswa yang ikut dalam seminar kondakting hari ini. Ini bertujuan bagaimana kondakting itu dalam kita memimpin kehidupan kita sehari-hari dalam perkuliahan. Semoga bisa mengikuti apa yang disampaikan oleh dua pembicara hari ini, Bapak Robbert Vos dan Bapak Christanto Hadijaya. Bapak, Ibu, dan saudara-saudara dan teman-teman mahasiswa silakan membuat rangkuman dan pertanyaan untuk akhir dari session seminar hari ini. Baik, itu saja. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih Bapak Gustaf. Thank you. Okay, now please allow me to read shortly the profile and CV of our first guest, highlighting his current work and most distinctive achievements. Pembicara pertama kita, Christanto Hadijaya, adalah konduktor, komposer, musisi dengan mayor biola dan pendidik asal Indonesia. Ia lahir di Jakarta pada tanggal 24 Juni 1984. Ia menyelesaikan studi sarjananya di bidang komposisi di Jurusan Musik Institut Seni Indonesia Yogyakarta pada tahun 2010. Dan pada tahun 2014, ia menyelesaikan studi masternya di bidang manajemen pendidikan di Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Ia pernah mengajar di Universitas Kristen Immanuel Yogyakarta dan Harvest International Theological Seminary di Tangerang. Saat ini, Christanto adalah pengajar di Alpha Omega Christ Theological College di Semarang. Ia juga menjabat sebagai pendiri dan direktur Maple Orchestra sejak 2010. Pada tahun 2021, menjabat sebagai direktur Pusat Pelatihan Musik Semarang. Sebagai musisi, ia telah terlibat dalam berbagai event nasional hingga internasional dengan berbagai orkestra seperti Surya Vista Orchestra di Hong Kong pada tahun 2017, Indonesian Idol bersama Heni dan Co. Orkestra di tahun 2018, beberapa konser dengan Erwin Gutawa Orkestra di tahun 2018, dan konser AFCC dengan Maple Orchestra di tahun 2019. Sedangkan sebagai komposer, ia juga pernah terlibat dalam berbagai event nasional hingga internasional juga, seperti Bukan Musik Biasa di Solo tahun 2007, 6,5 Composers Collective, Festival dan Contemporary Music Festival di Yogyakarta tahun 2008, KL Contemporary Music Festival tahun 2009 di Malaysia, dan Musik Tradisi Baru di Yogyakarta pada tahun 2010. Our first speaker, Christanto Hadijaya, is an Indonesian conductor, composer, musician majoring in violin and viola, and an educator. He was born in Jakarta on June 24, 1984. He completed his undergraduate study in composition at Music Department of Institut Seni Indonesia Yogyakarta in 2010, and in 2014, he completed his master's study in educational management at Universitas Negeri Jakarta. He has taught at Universitas Kristen Immanuel Yogyakarta and Harvest International Theological Seminary in Tangerang. Currently, Christanto is a lecturer at the Alpha Omega Christ Theological College Semarang. He also has served as founder and director of Maple Orchestra since 2010. In 2021, he served as director of Semarang Music Training Center. And as a musician, he has been involved in various national to international events with various orchestras, such as Surya Vista Orchestra in Hong Kong in 2017, Indonesian Idol with Heni and Co. Orchestra in 2018, several concerts with Erwin Gutawa Orchestra in 2018, and AFCC concert with Maple Orchestra in 2019. Also, as a composer, he has been involved in various national to international events, such as Bukan Musik Biasa in Solo in 2007, and then 6.5 Composers Collective Festival and Contemporary Music Festival in Yogyakarta in 2008, KL Contemporary Music Festival in 2009 in Malaysia, and Musik Tradisi Baru event in Yogyakarta in 2010. Oke. Kini mari kita undang pembicara pertama kita,
Now please welcome Christanto Hadijaya.
Hello all.
Hi, Mas.
Good afternoon all. And good morning for Mr. Robert. How do you do? Semuanya baik sih ya.
Very well, thank
Very
you.
well.
Okay, nice to meet you all via Zoom. And okay, now it's time for me to present or later.
Yes, today's topic is about building leadership skills in the music community. Certainly, we have many turning points and hurdles during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is apparent that leadership will be more important during this era, including in the music community. We hope that you can share your ideas and insights on leadership in music community. And now you have a maximum of 30 minutes for your presentation. Over to you, Mas Chris.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Patricia. And greetings for all faculty of Music Department of Indonesian Art Institute Yogyakarta. Maybe greetings for my leader from STTKAO, from my college. I was lecturer now, and also greetings for my students, for my junior, and for all. Thank you so much for your opportunity. Okay, today I will talk about the leadership in music community. Today I will speak. I try to in bilingual in bahasa and in English. Okay, I will share my slide. Just wait. Okay. My presentation titled Para Pemimpin dari Kalangan Seni, or in English, the leaders from arts citizenship. Okay, forward. Ya, kita memasuki era 4.0. We turn into era 4.0. That means the era of digitalism, robotic, artificial intelligence. Ya, jadi di mana kita manusia itu pada saat ini harus bersaing, harus mampu bersaing, bukan hanya bersaing terhadap sesama, ya, tetapi kita juga bersaing dengan kecerdasan artifisial, ya. Okay, please wait. Okay. Okay, is that clear for you all? Okay. Yeah. So now we facing the era 4.0. That means we facing about the era with about the digital, robotic, artificial intelligence. So we have to compete with not just compete with another person, but with another human. But yang kita lawan sekarang ini adalah kecerdasan artifisial, robotic, computerized, gitu. Dimana pada akhirnya posisi peranan manusia itu sekarang bisa semakin bergeser. Ya, kita lihat sekarang banyak bidang-bidang pekerjaan itu yang sudah digantikan, ya, digantikan dengan robot, digantikan switch with the machine. There's a lot of a job switched by the machine. switched by computerized gitu. Ya. Jadi itu berarti bahwa tantangan kita, our challenge more big. Kita akan menghadapi masa yang lebih sulit karena yang kita hadapi sekarang adalah kecerdasan artifisial. Ya. Jadi tantangannya bukan hanya melawan persaingan antara manusia, tapi juga kita ditantang untuk bisa melampaui dari kemampuan mesin. Ya. That means that the challenge for all human resources, ya, include the artist, termasuk seniman, ya. Nah ini yang menjadi kegelisahan saya juga. Gitu. Bagaimana kita kaum seniman ini mampu bersaing, gitu, ya. Bersaing di dunia global, ya. Facing onto the global. Lalu yang ketiga adalah transformasi dan peran serta, ya, para seniman di tengah masyarakat global itu seperti apa, gitu. Ya mungkin kita nanti akan bisa sharing juga, mungkin dari we can share with all of us, kita bisa share today, we can share about how about transformation of the artists in the global society. Ya. Jadi saya nggak pingin di sini saya menggurui, tapi saya pingin lebih juga kita banyak sharing juga, gitu ya. Oke, the basic idea, ya, dasar pemikirannya adalah bagaimana nih the challenge about our profession, ya, terhadap tuntutan profesi kita di bidang seni, gitu ya. Sekarang apa tuntutan zaman ini sekarang ini? Apakah hanya bermain musik, mampu bermain musik saja, apakah itu sudah cukup? Is enough just you can play the piano well? Is that enough? Or you can sing well, is that enough? Ya, saya rasa sekarang tantangannya yang sekali lagi bahwa yang kita lawan itu we against the digital, we against the computer, gitu. Sekarang orang nyanyi fals aja bisa diperbaiki, gitu. We can fix apa yang orang yang nggak bisa main musik pun sekarang bisa bermain musik dengan mudah, gitu ya. Orang nggak perlu belajar berjam-jam untuk bisa main piano bagus. Orang nggak perlu berlatih berjam-jam untuk bisa punya suara bagus. Sekarang dengan digital, ya kita bisa melakukan semua itu. Ya, dulu kita kalau mau rekaman harus ke studio atau kita harus sewa tempat. Sekarang kita bisa melakukan reproduksi audio just from home. Ya. Sekarang setiap orang banyak yang bisa melakukan rekaman, nggak perlu belajar, nggak perlu kuliah, gitu ya, nggak perlu belajar tinggi-tinggi untuk menjadi musisi, gitu. Sekarang orang awam aja sudah bisa melakukannya dengan sangat mudah. Ya. Lalu yang kedua adalah what the stereotype, ya, masyarakat pada profesi pelaku seni. What the stereotype the citizenship with the artist and artist itu seperti apa? Ya, khususnya buat kita orang-orang Indonesia, ya, kita masih stereotipnya masih dikatakan masih belum bagus, gitu ya. Berbeda dengan negara-negara berkembang, mungkin seperti di negara Robbert Vos di Nederland, mungkin stereotip orang terhadap artis itu better than Indonesia, gitu. Ya, kita masih kemarin mungkin sudah dibahas juga oleh Mr. Heni, ya, itu bahwa kehidupan profesi musik atau profesi seni di Indonesia itu masih belum mendapatkan predikat yang bagus. Gitu. Ya. Lalu yang ketiga, ya, we have to have the impactful generation from artists. Ya, kita membutuhkan generasi-generasi yang impactful dari kalangan seni gitu. Ini tantangan buat kita semua. Ya, I'm so glad bahwa sekarang Prodi Musik sudah mulai memikirkan tentang leadership. It's good for us gitu ya. Kalau dulu zaman saya kuliah ya belajar musik ya pokoknya bisa main musik, ya bisa main konserto, bisa main sonata bagus. Tapi nggak pernah dipikirkan tentang masa depan kita, ya. Masa depan pelaku-pelaku seni, apakah kita bisa menjadi could we become an impactful person in society gitu. Could we be impactful generation ya dari kalangan seni. Ini yang mungkin nanti kita akan bahas sama-sama juga ya gitu. Makanya pemikiran-pemikiran tentang leadership, tentang manajemen dan apapun itu sangat penting, bukan hanya buat kalangan sarjana ekonomi atau apa, tapi kita juga pelaku seni juga perlu dididik untuk bisa menjadi orang-orang yang bisa berpengaruh. Ya. Oke. Ya, menjadi pemimpin ya dapat takut. Oke. Reinforce you to become a leader. Ya. Karena menjadi pemimpin itu berat dan butuh tanggung jawab, tapi ini bukan sesuatu yang sulit sebetulnya kalau kita mau melakukannya. Ya. Karena ini merupakan sebuah paradigma baru, a new paradigm in our culture. Sekarang itu kita culture-nya adalah kita dituntut untuk menjadi seorang founder, innovator, creator. Ya. Jadi kita harus punya pemikiran bahwa kita harus siap menjadi pemimpin. Ya, especially for the music students yang sekarang masih belajar di bangku kuliah. Gitu. Selalu pertanyaan terbesar, the big question is, kita mau menjadi apa after you'll become the alumni of music department? Kita mau menjadi apa? Gitu. Ya. Apakah hanya mau menjadi pemain, menjadi player gitu ya, hanya menjadi guru les gitu? Nah, siapa yang mau menjadi pemimpin? Ya. Siapa yang mau menjadi innovator? Siapa yang mau menjadi founder? Ini yang harus kita pikirkan mulai dari sekarang gitu, karena saya melihat bahwa tidak banyak alumni dari ya karena saya juga dari ISI ya, dari Prodi Musik ISI, saya melihat bahwa nggak banyak yang alumni itu yang setelah lulus mereka menjadi pemimpin. Kebanyakan mereka hanya menjadi player, ya, hanya menjadi guru les gitu. Tapi akhirnya mereka menjadi dikendalikan oleh orang-orang yang bukan dari orang musik. Nah ini kegelisahan kita sama-sama. Gitu. Ya. Kenapa kita tidak boleh takut untuk menjadi pemimpin? Ya. Because kesarjanaan seni itu saya selalu menganggap bahwa kita setara dengan gelar keilmuan lain. Gitu. Ya. Kita equals. We have the capability equals with another fields. Kita punya punya kesetaraan dengan cabang-cabang ilmu yang lain. Gitu. Jadi kita nggak boleh pesimis bahwa orang kita sarjana seni, saya magister seni itu saya nggak bisa berbuat apa-apa gitu. Ya, kita bisa menjadi kita bisa berkecimpung di dalam dunia politik, dalam dunia hukum, sebagainya. Kita bisa. Ya. Masih sedikit sarjana seni yang berani melakukan the big jump, extra miles, ya. Become a leader in the fields of economy, entrepreneurship, politics, culture, dan sebagainya, bisnis. Ya, mungkin kemarin kita sudah bahas juga dengan Miss Novita gitu ya. Dari sharing beliau bahwa gak banyak loh orang-orang dari kalangan seni ini yang mampu mau menjadi founder, mau menjadi leader, mau menjadi entrepreneurship. Ya. Pak Engki juga kemarin sudah bilang seperti itu. Ya, ini tantangan buat kita semua. Ya. Lalu yang ketiga adalah we just not prepared just for an artist, but also we have the great impact in society. Kita nggak cuma dipersiapkan sebagai seniman. Kalau Anda berpikir setelah lulus dari bangku kuliah musik atau seni gitu, terus kita hanya jadi artis, hanya menjadi seniman, ngejob sana sini gitu ya. Ya itu paradigma yang kuno menurut saya. Ya. Jadi paradigmanya adalah kembali lagi bahwa kita harus mulai berpikir be prepared to become a leader. Ya. Be prepared for the impactful person. Ya. Ya, bagaimana caranya? Ya banyak. Ya. Entah bisa kita bisa menjadi entrepreneurship, kita bisa bergerak di dalam bidang politik, kita bisa sebagai pelaku budaya, sebagai penulis buku, sebagai lecturer, ya. dan banyak ya sebagai konservasi budaya dan sebagainya. Yang paling penting adalah kita punya dampak yang besar dalam masyarakat. Itu adalah challenge-nya sekarang. Ya. How about the leader? Memang di studi magister saya belajar tentang manajemen. Di situ ada sedikit tentang leader and leadership. Ya. Jadi leader is the part of the management field. Ya. Leader. Saya mengambil dari Robinson Carter bahwa leader itu adalah seseorang yang bisa memberikan dampak kepada orang lain dan bagaimana dia bisa mempunyai kekuasaan untuk memanage. Ya, dan sedangkan leadership itu secara simpelnya adalah is what the leaders do, apa yang dilakukan para pemimpin. If you talk about the leader and leaderships, it has a lot of layers, a lot of dimension. We can talk about the characteristic of leadership, the types of leaderships, and many more. Ya, tapi saya rasa karena ini bukan kuliah manajemen ya, jadi saya rasa saya nggak perlu membahas terlalu banyak tentang teori ini. Ya, oke. Next slide. Okay. The independent soul is the person who ready to become a leader. Pribadi yang independen adalah pribadi yang siap menjadi pemimpin. Ya, kalau kita mau menjadi seorang pemimpin, kita harus siap untuk menjadi orang yang independen. If you want to become the leader, you have to be ready. You have to become an independent person. Ya. Karena pemimpin itu nggak bisa terlalu bergantung pada orang lain. Kita harus siap menjadi orang yang bisa berdiri sendiri gitu ya, mandiri, berdiri di atas kekuatan kita sendiri. Ya, dulu saya dari sejak saya kuliah, ya, saya sudah banyak bergerak dalam bidang kepemimpinan gitu ya. Termasuk salah satunya saya adalah pendiri dari 6.5 Composers Collective, yaitu adalah organisasi para komposer muda di kampus ISI ya waktu itu. Ya. Tapi unfortunately 6,5-nya sedang vakum, saya nggak tahu sekarang. Ya. Dan juga ada banyak organisasi-organisasi yang saya sudah ikuti sejak saya kuliah. Ya. Karena apa? Saya mau belajar itu. Saya belajar untuk menjadi orang yang siap untuk memimpin. Saya belajar dari organisasi-organisasi itu. Saya senang berorganisasi dari dulu. Ya. Jadi saya tidak hanya fokus pada musical skill, saya nggak cuma belajar musik aja, saya nggak cuma belajar tentang main biola, saya nggak cuma belajar tentang komposisi musik, tapi saya juga belajar bagaimana how to become a leader through the organization gitu. Saya belajar di sana. Nah, I learn from that. Next, if you want to become a leader, you have to have self-esteem. Self-esteem itu adalah apa? Self-esteem itu adalah rasa percaya diri gitu. Tapi bukan percaya diri yang sombong gitu ya, tapi lebih kepada kita bangga terhadap diri kita sendiri bahwa kita punya kemampuan, kita percaya bahwa kita sanggup untuk melakukan sesuatu. That is self-esteem. Kita percaya bahwa kita bisa menjadi pemimpin. Kita percaya dalam mindset kita bahwa kita bisa menjadi seseorang yang independen, ya, itu penting. Ya. Nah ini juga yang menjadi saya melihat bahwa membangun self-esteem di kalangan mahasiswa musik itu yang dulu saya alami waktu saya kuliah itu nggak banyak, ya. Karena di musik ya waktu itu saya kuliah lebih banyak fokus kepada musik, just music gitu. How about the personality-nya itu belum dibangun gitu ya. Makanya jadi sangat penting bagi para lecturer, bagi para dosen juga gitu untuk how to reinforce, how to encourage the students agar bisa memiliki self-esteem yang bagus. Karena ini penting. Ya, kalau enggak nanti kita cuma jadi followers saja gitu. Kita hanya menjadi followers, kita nggak pernah menjadi seorang yang di depan gitu ya. Lalu yang ketiga adalah kita mau keluar dari zona nyaman gitu. Ya. We have to go from the comfort zone. Ya. Ya kita tahulah zona nyaman itu banyak. Misalnya ya saya sebagai salah satu contoh adalah kalau saya melihat di kalangan teman-teman dari ISI ya itu banyak mereka itu beraninya kalau mereka berkumpul gitu ya. Tapi ketika kita terlepas dari kumpulan kita tuh langsung there's nothing gitu, nggak ada apa-apanya gitu ya. Ini yang dimaksud dengan zona nyaman gitu ya. Kita selalu nyaman dengan komunitas kita. Gitu. Itu bagus memang. But in another side, ya ini nggak bagus karena akhirnya kita nggak pernah bisa menjadi orang yang bisa beradaptasi dengan lingkungan yang lain gitu. Saya waktu lulus dari dari S1 saya sudah langsung bekerja di Jakarta. Saya bekerja di lingkungan yang sangat berbeda dengan orang-orang musik. Saya bekerja dengan lingkungan yang sangat-sangat berbeda. Lalu saya kuliah di S2 juga dengan lingkungan yang sangat berbeda sekali. Tapi itu saya senang. I'm so happy bisa merasakan the diversity of the atmosphere dari lingkungan yang berbeda itu, supaya saya belajar supaya saya nggak selalu di dalam zona yang nyaman gitu. Saya harus keluar dari situ. Karena saya mau siap dibentuk gitu ya, menjadi pribadi yang lebih besar lagi. Kalau enggak, ya saya akan di lingkungan yang sama aja, saya nggak akan belajar apa-apa gitu. I cannot grow up from the same atmosphere. Ya, saya harus keluar. I have to go out from my comfort zone, gitu ya. Challenge yourself, gitu ya, untuk bisa menjadi pemimpin. Oke. Ya. This is 7 source of leadership. Ya. Ini sebetulnya pemikiran saya. Ya. Sebetulnya kalau if you talk about leaderships, itu banyak sekali. Ya. There's a lot of leadership perspective gitu ya. But I give you the summary from myself. Ya. Itu yang pertama adalah kalau misalnya if you want to become a leader, first you have to have the competencies gitu ya. Ya, saya rasa kalau kita punya kompetens waktu kita kuliah, itu juga kan pasti sudah kita diasah dengan kompetensinya. Jadi competence is combination between skills, knowledge, and attitude. Ya. Jadi competence itu adalah kombinasi dari skill, dari knowledge, dari pengetahuan, dan juga dari attitude. Itu yang membentuk tentang kompetensi kita. Kompetensi ini ada banyak, ada kompetensi tentang musik, ada kompetensi tentang leadership, kompetensi tentang bisnis, kompetensi tentang entrepreneurship. Ya, banyak hal yang bisa kita grow up. Ya. Kompetensi itu adalah penunjang pertama, ya, termasuk kompetensi untuk memimpin. And the second is the brave. You have to become the brave person. Ya. Kita harus menjadi orang yang berjiwa besar. Ya. If you have the brave heart, ya, kita akan mampu menjadi pemimpin. Karena apa? Menjadi pemimpin itu nggak gampang, karena menjadi pemimpin itu there's a lot of pressure, ya, ada banyak hal yang kita harus hadapi, ada banyak hal yang harus kita lakukan dan sebagainya, yang harus kita pikirkan. Jadi ya, ketika saya menjadi pemimpin, ya, saya mendirikan Maple Orchestra itu nggak gampang. Ya, bagaimana saya harus memanage banyak orang, yang mengatur ini, mengatur itu, memikirkan A, B, C, dan seterusnya. Ya. Itu sulit. Belum lagi challenge-nya itu tekanan dari pihak-pihak. Ya. Itu nggak gampang. Menjadi dosen juga sulit. Banyak tekanannya, banyak tugas yang harus dilakukan dan sebagainya. Tapi itu saya percaya bahwa semuanya itu akan membentuk kita. And next, open-minded. Ya. Sekarang kita harus menjadi orang yang mau terbuka, ya. Ya memang kita setiap orang punya ideologi, ya, tapi saya berharap bahwa kita, kaum seniman ini punya pemikiran yang lebih terbuka. Jadi tidak hanya berpikir masalah seni aja gitu ya, tapi kita mau belajar juga untuk terbuka terhadap pemikiran-pemikiran yang baru. Ya, open your mind, open your soul. Ya, karena dunia ini cepat berubah. Ya, dunia ini cepat sekali berubahnya. Kalau misalnya kita nggak pernah open mind, ya kita pasti akan ketinggalan. Lalu berikutnya adalah kreatif. Ya, I believe we are the creative person, gitu ya. Seniman itu biasanya orang-orang yang kreatif. Ya, tapi kreatif yang seperti apa yang diperlukan dalam masyarakat, gitu ya. Seperti kemarin juga sempat dibahas bahwa kita harus kreatif membuka peluang, ya. You have to become a creative person to open the opportunity. Itu penting sekali, ya. Kreatif untuk menciptakan lapangan pekerjaan, kreatif untuk sesuatu yang baru, gitu ya. Dan berikutnya adalah consistent and persistent. Consistent that means sesuatu yang kita lakukan secara terus-menerus. Banyak dari teman-teman saya itu ketika mereka lulus dari perguruan tinggi seni, akhirnya mereka nggak melakukan bidang ilmu mereka, itu sangat disayangkan, gitu ya. Nah, saya berharap bahwa nanti adik-adik semua yang masih berkuliah di musik atau di seni apapun itu, jadilah orang yang konsisten. Ya. Menjadi orang yang konsisten. Konsisten itu artinya sesuatu yang kita lakukan terus-menerus. Gitu. Dan persisten that means kita seperti olahraga, kalau misalnya kita setiap hari kita jogging 10 meter, kalau persisten itu nanti yang biasanya kita jogging 5 meter, 10 meter, 100 meter, ditambah terus, sesuatu yang bertambah terus. Ya. Jadi kita harus menjadi orang yang konsisten. Konsisten itu artinya kita terus melakukan itu, dan persisten artinya kita menambah. Jangan cepat berpuas diri. Kita harus banyak belajar, kita harus banyak menambahkan ilmu kita, menambahkan knowledge kita, menambahkan skill kita dan sebagainya. Ya, jangan ragu untuk belajar sesuatu yang baru, even though itu outside from the music, gitu ya. Jangan pernah malas untuk belajar. Ya, karena itu suatu hal yang penting, gitu ya. Kita mau belajar politik, kita mau belajar tentang ekonomi, kita mau belajar entrepreneurship, kita mau belajar bisnis, kita mau belajar hukum, kita mau belajar apapun itu. Ya. And next, adaptive. Ya. Beradaptasi seperti yang saya sudah katakan sebelumnya. Kita berjuang untuk melawan kemajuan teknologi. Ya, we fight against the technology. Gitu. Kita berjuang melawan teknologi. Kalau misalnya kita nggak menjadi pribadi yang adaptif, yang mampu beradaptasi dengan perubahan, ya kita akan kalah. Seperti sekarang misalnya, kita era digital, kita meeting hanya menggunakan Zoom. Ya. Kita sekarang mau konser, kita bisa nonton dengan virtual dan sebagainya. Itu adalah kemajuan yang kita harus mampu beradaptasi dengan hal-hal seperti itu. Ya. Saya pribadi saya juga berusaha untuk adaptif. Even though saya from the classical music, gitu, I try to adapt to become industries music saya juga belajar bagaimana sih rekaman itu seperti apa, bagaimana sih mixing audio itu seperti apa, how to create the digital music gitu ya. Itu ada sesuatu yang hal yang perlu kita lakukan gitu. Ya. Adaptif itu berarti ideologi yang cair gitu ya. Nah, ini juga yang saya kritik dari banyak alumni musik itu adalah kebanyakan kita terlalu ideologis, terlalu idealis sampai akhirnya kita nggak bisa beradaptasi dengan hal-hal yang lain gitu ya. Sama seperti mungkin kemarin di Snobita ada satu kasus guru kalau dari mahasiswa musik itu idealis gitu. Pokoknya anaknya harus main bagus baru bisa konser. Ya, seperti itu. Hal-hal seperti itu kita harus bisa beradaptasi bahwa di masyarakat itu dinamikanya itu sangat beragam. Ya, kita harus bisa menjadi orang yang liquid. We have to become a liquid person. Ya, kita harus bisa, meskipun kita punya ideologi, kita punya idealisme, kita harus bisa beradaptasi dengan masyarakat. Karena itu yang dibutuhkan. Ya. Karena kalau idealis tapi nggak berguna di masyarakat, ya for what? Ya, idealis cuma buat diri sendiri, itu nggak bagus menurut saya. Ya. I've been teaching in seminary college for maybe almost 10 years, and I saw the many case of my students. They came from mereka berasal dari daerah gitu, mereka berasal dari daerah yang nggak pernah mengenal musik gitu. Lalu kalau misalnya saya menaruh idealisme saya kepada mereka, kamu harus musik klasik misalnya gitu, ya pasti nggak akan sampai message-nya. Tujuan dari saya mengajarkan mahasiswa itu nggak akan tercapai kalau saya memberikan idealisme itu pada mereka. So that's why I have to adaptive. Saya harus beradaptasi dengan keadaan. Gitu. Bagaimana caranya saya tetap bisa mengajarkan tanpa harus memaksakan mereka yang musik klasik. Even though tetap kurikulumnya musik klasik, tapi saya tetap bagaimana caranya saya mengajarkan bahwa mereka yang tadinya buta musik, akhirnya mereka bisa memahami musik. Itu yang paling penting. Dan banyak yang lainnya juga. And the last is the integrity. Yeah. This is the most important elements if you become the leader. Yeah. The integrity. The integrity is talk about honesty and truthfulness. Ini kita bicara, kalau integritas itu bicara tentang kejujuran, ya, dan kepercayaan. Gitu. Trust, ya, trust itu adalah sesuatu yang mahal. Ya. Trust is a diamond. Ya. Trust is priceless. Nggak bisa dibayarkan dengan apapun. Ya. Nah, banyak orang-orang yang pintar. Ya, there's a lot of people who have a good skills in music, but they don't have the integrity. Ini yang saya juga banyak sesalkan juga. Gitu. Banyak di dunia kerja saya memperhatikan begitu. Ya, oke, mainnya bagus, ya, bacanya oke, main klasiknya oke, bagus. Tapi nggak punya integritas. Ini apa? Adalah sesuatu yang sangat berat buat saya. Ya. Nah, ini yang penting. Ya. This is the most important things ya, buat kita. Apapun profesi kita itu harus dijalankan dengan integritas. If you become a lecturer, if you become a musician, if you are become a conductor or everything, you have to have the integrity. That's the most important point. Okay. Oh, sorry. The next is networking. Yeah. Yeah. Networking is the most important also. Yeah. If you create the networking for the many person, for many institution, ya, ini penting buat kita juga, ya. Dan I'm so glad bahwa saya masih bisa bekerja sama dengan banyak orang, ya. Dari dunia pekerjaan saya, dari musik, saya bisa bekerja sama dengan banyak orang, bukan hanya dari kalangan seniman, tapi ada banyak pihak, ya. Jadi kalau kita mau menjadi seorang leader yang bagus, kita harus membangun networking yang luas, gitu ya. Seperti saya katakan tadi, jangan mau beraninya berkumpul pada satu golongan aja, gitu ya. Kalau misalnya dari teman-teman isi, udah dari teman-teman isi aja, jangan. Ya, open your door, ya. Dan bukalah networking seluas-luasnya. Karena apa? Karena kalau kita punya networking yang luas, itu kita akan we can add the new perspective, we can add our new knowledge, through the networking. Ya. Apalagi kalau kita punya networking yang dari orang-orang yang berbeda dengan kita, misalnya dari kalangan misalnya dari kalangan politik atau dari kalangan sosial. Ya, jadi jangan berani hanya pada kalau kita punya komunitas itu jangan cuma dari komunitas seni aja. Ya, beranilah untuk kita punya networking yang seluas-luasnya. Ya, baik di dalam maupun di luar komunitas seni. Ya. With the networking, we create the opportunity. Kita punya kesempatan, ya, membuka kesempatan ini dalam banyak hal, ya. Yang tentunya kesempatan yang baik buat kita. Dan juga kalau kita punya networking yang bagus, itu akan membangun kepribadian yang baru, ya. Seperti saya sudah bekerja kurang lebih, ya, ada 10 tahun saya melanglang buana kerja di sana sini, gitu ya. Itu saya banyak belajar, ya. I've learned a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, a lot of personality. Ya, itu yang membentuk saya seperti sekarang ini, ya. Jadi saya punya sekarang, kalau saya yang sekarang dengan yang saya 10 tahun yang lalu jelas sangat berbeda sekali, gitu. Ada banyak hal yang kita bisa pelajari, itu yang membangun karakter kita juga, ya. Orang-orang yang berkarakter itu sangat dibutuhkan di dunia kerja sekarang, gitu ya. Jadi bukan cuma orang yang punya skill bagus, tapi kita harus punya karakter yang bagus, good character. Ya. Yeah. And the last from me, yeah. And after that, what next, gitu. Ya. Kita sudah punya skill, kita sudah punya kompetensi, ya. Kita punya networking yang bagus, atau kita punya posisi yang bagus dalam dunia kerja nanti, ya, apapun itu, ya. Share your life, that's the key, ya. Share your life, ya. If you become the impactful person, share your life. Ya. Banyak di bidang seni ini kita masih banyak missing link-nya. We still have a lot of missing link in arts knowledge in Indonesia. Ya. Because what? Karena nggak banyak orang yang mau sharing, nggak banyak orang yang mau berbagi. Nggak banyak orang. There's no a lot of people who want to share about their life gitu. Ya, banyak orang di Indonesia ini saya memperhatikan ya, banyak orang yang mau memperkaya dirinya aja, tetapi nggak mau berbagi. Ya, kuliah jauh-jauh ke luar negeri gitu ya, balik-balik ke Indonesia ya cuma buat pamer doang gitu. Itu banyak ya seperti itu. Ya, ikut kompetisi piano A, ikut kompetisi ini, and then what gitu. Ya, if you able to play piano very well and then what gitu. Kalau cuma mau buat pride aja, kalau cuma mau buat kebanggaan buat diri sendiri aja, ya buat apa gitu ya, percuma. Jadi leadership itu is talk about sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience, share everything you have, you can share for another people. Karena apa? Karena kita melihat bahwa masih banyak kesenjangannya, banyak orang-orang yang nggak mengerti tentang apa itu seni, nggak mengerti apa itu musik yang bagus itu seperti apa gitu. Karena ya itu tadi, orang-orang pinternya nggak mau berbagi semua gitu. Ya, karena permasalahan ini yang mendorong saya mau mendedikasikan ketika saya mau menjadi seorang lecturer. Ya. Saya sudah dari awal waktu saya kuliah, saya sudah memutuskan saya mau menjadi dosen. Gitu. Jadi waktu saya masih kuliah pun saya sudah menjadi dosen waktu itu. Karena apa? Karena saya melihat the lack of musical knowledge in society gitu. Masih banyak sekali orang-orang nggak ngerti tentang musik, nggak ngerti apa itu piano, apa not balok itu seperti apa, nggak ngerti. Gitu. Dan itu yang saya berpikir bahwa saya harus mendedikasikan diri saya untuk berbagi. Caranya dengan apa? Dengan saya menjadi dosen. Itu adalah cara saya untuk saya berbagi. Gitu. Mungkin teman-teman yang lain nanti bisa punya banyak cara untuk share tentang knowledge-nya, tentang pengalamannya dan sebagainya. Ya. Jadi yang saya harapkan bahwa adalah kita harus menjadi orang yang impactful. Caranya dengan apa? Share your life, share your knowledge, share your experience. Itu yang paling penting. Ya. Nah, mungkin itu aja sharing dari saya. Ya, mungkin nanti bisa dilanjutkan oleh Mr. Robbert dan bisa kita lanjutkan di diskusi-diskusi. Saya nggak mau, sekali lagi, saya nggak mau menggurui, tapi saya mau berbagi aja, mau saling sharing aja. Ya, apa yang saya sudah jalani dan apa yang sudah saya alami, ya kurang lebih 10 tahun terakhir ini dalam dunia kerja saya gitu ya, sebagai lecturer, sebagai composer, sebagai arranger, sebagai orchestra musician, sebagai kondaktor, apapun itu. Ya sekian dari saya. Tempora mutantur ethnos mutantur nihilis. Itu artinya adalah waktu itu selalu berubah dan kita ikut berubah di dalamnya. Sekian dari saya, mungkin saya kembalikan ke moderator, Miss Patricia.
Baik, terima kasih. Luar biasa sekali, Mas. Thank you very much. Those were very fruitful stories and experiences. Here are several important notes to summarize Mas Chris' presentation.
So we are now entering the 4.0 era, a digital era. It means we have to compete not only with human, but also with machines, with AI and such. We have to realize that as music student and alumni in society, we are not only prepared to become performers, but also to become a leader, a founder, and an entrepreneur. But we have to be brave enough to do it, so we could be a trendsetter instead of just a follower. We have to believe that a Bachelor of Art graduates has equal capability as other Bachelor of Science. We got to have a high self-esteem and dare to get out of our comfort zone. In that matter, we have to gain 7 soul of leadership: competence, brave, open-minded, creative, consistent, and persistent, adaptive, and also integrity. We have to establish a significant and expansive network. Character building is highly important, and after we receive them all, we have to give back to our society, so it'll benefit the society and give contribution to our community. Okay, so that's it for our first speaker. Thank you again, Mas. Kini kita akan berlanjut ke ya, terima kasih. Kini kita akan berlanjut ke pembicara yang kedua. Saya akan membacakan profilnya. Robbert Vos adalah artis sterling virtuoso euphonium yang menggunakan mouthpiece kurun dan Gilbert ukuran 3,5D, seorang konduktor dan tutor dari Belanda. Ia memulai karir musiknya sebagai pemain flugelhorn dengan Joe Delnoy, tapi kemudian ia beralih ke euphonium. Pada tahun 2004, ia memulai studinya di Fontys Conservatory di Tilburg. Robert juga memulai pelatihan wind and brass band Kondakting yang diberikan oleh Hardy Martins. Pada musim semi 2008, ia lulus dari kedua studi tersebut. Selanjutnya, pada tahun yang sama, ia meneruskan pendidikannya ke Akademi Musik di Utrecht. Ia sering diminta sebagai pemain tamu dan solois di seluruh Eropa. Perjalanannya membawanya ke banyak tempat di dunia, seperti di Amerika Serikat, ke Hong Kong, Portugal, Norwegia, dan berbagai belahan Inggris. Sejak tahun 2014, ia adalah pemain euphonium di Marine Band Angkatan Laut Kerajaan Belanda. Ia juga adalah seorang solo euphonium dari brass band Schoonhoven, yang bersama mereka juga ia menjadi juara Belanda 5 kali di bagian kejuaraan selama bertahun-tahun. Ia menerima penghargaan untuk solois terbaik di Brass in Concert pada tahun 2016 dan Eurobrass Drachten pada tahun 2013. Pada tahun 2014, ia merilis CD solo pertamanya yang berjudul Duel. Ini berisi beberapa komposisi baru untuk pita, euphonium, dan brass band. Saat ini, Robert memimpin orkestra sebagai berikut: Brass Band Schoonhoven B, Koninklijke Harmonie Philharmonia Eindhoven, divisi yang pertama, dan Brass Band Schoonhoven A sebagai asisten konduktor. Now heading to the second speaker, please allow me to read shortly the profile and CV of our second guest, highlighting his current work and most distinctive achievements. Robbert Vos is a sterling virtuoso euphonium artist who plays on a current and Gilbert mouthpiece, size 3.5D, a conductor and a tutor from the Netherlands. He started his musical career as a flugelhorn player with Joe Delnoy, but later on he switched to the euphonium. In 2004, he started his studies at the Fontys Conservatory in Tilburg. Robert also started the training on wind and brass band conducting given by Hardy Martins. In the spring of 2008, Robert passed both studies. In 2008, he went to the Academy of Music in Utrecht. He is often asked as a guest player and soloist around Europe and is also regularly asked to give low brass clinics. His trips took him to many places around the world, such as the USA, Hong Kong, Portugal, Norway, and various parts of the United Kingdom. Since 2014, he is the euphonium player of the Marine Band of the Royal Netherlands Navy. He also is the solo euphonium player of Brass Band Schoonhoven, with whom he became 5 times Dutch champions in the championship sections 4 years. He received an award for Best Soloist at Brass in Concert in 2016 and Eurobrass Drachten in 2013. In 2014, he released his first solo CD,
called Jewel. This contains several new compositions for euphonium and brass band. At this moment, Robbert conducts the following orchestras: Brass Band Schoonhoven B, Koninklijke Harmonie Filotonia Eindhoven First Division, and Brass Band Schoonhoven A as an assistant conductor. Kini mari kita sambut pembicara yang kedua. Ladies and gentlemen, our second speaker will also share his experiences and knowledge on leadership in various communities. Now please welcome our distinguished guest, Robbert Vos.
Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, everyone.
Good
and
morning
thank you,
and
Ms.
good
Patricia.
afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Patricia, for your introduction. You had some difficult names to pronounce, so well done.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I make such mistakes. I hope not. But
you did very well. And my
you.
compliments to Mr. Christanto for his lecture as well, which was very interesting. I received an invitation by Pupu to talk about this on the seminar about leadership, and I was thinking, how can I add something to your event? Because in my opinion, I don't feel like I am a leader. I don't own a big company. I don't have personnel or a team which I need to pay or things like that. So for me, leadership would be a very different thing in my role as a musician in an orchestra, as a conductor, as a teacher. You have all different forms of leadership. So what I would like to talk with you about is the importance of being an all-round musician. We already had a bit of information about that earlier today. I think what we can talk about is, I would like to talk about my route, how I got where, what to the things I'm doing now at this moment, how to spread your chances, how you can create new opportunities, be an entrepreneur, how to use your social media in the right way, because that's a very important aspect of our life, how leadership would be different in every situation, and the way that education is a very important aspect to give students a lot of opportunities. I apologize for not speaking Indonesian. It will be all English. I have been to Indonesia a few years ago. I went to the island of Bali, which was beautiful, but maybe I will get to some other islands too in the future. So I would like to start to go years back when I was very little. I was 8 years old and I started playing the flugelhorn. And I remember that I was already interested in all sorts of classical music. I was singing in a choir. I liked to listen to opera when I was 9 or 10, which might be a little bit strange maybe. And I also had some chopsticks at home, which I used to conduct in front of the mirror when I was little. So I already was interested in various aspects of the music making. My brother, he owned a keyboard, but he never practiced. And I took his books when I was younger and started practicing on his books. And that actually really helped me learning all the chords and then playing the melodies when I went to conservatoire 10 years later, because then your ears were already trained. Also in these younger years, when I heard some songs on the radio, I like to open my computer program and write them down. I don't know why. I just started to write music and compose music. So I think already at that point, my interest was not only with playing, but also with a lot of other aspects. So I wasn't good at the flugelhorn. I was actually very bad at this instrument, and I started to play euphonium because my teacher just gave me one. And I practiced for a lot of years. And when I was 17, I did my final exam at the music school. So in Holland, a musical education in the basic, you have 4 diplomas, graduations, an A, B, C, and D level. And at your D level, you have to organize a concert yourself. So you have to be already on a young age a sort of entrepreneur. So we organized a pianist, and we could make use of the hall, created a program. We tried to play some different ensembles, and then so already you were trained to be creative. And that was not only about playing your instrument well, but also thinking about all these other aspects. So then I was thinking, what do I want to do after this? I had to go to high school, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to the conservatoire. So I decided to visit some universities, maybe to become a lawyer or something like that. And in the meantime, I did an audition for the conservatoire. Well, my teacher there at the conservatoire, he said to me, I'm not sure if I want to hire you because your level is not good enough. But he gave me a chance then. And I'm glad he gave me a chance because I had the confidence to evolve myself as a musician. And this has been a very important lesson for me, because what you see most times, if what teachers do, they are very strict sometimes, and they forget to give opportunities and to give this confidence and trust, where Mr. Christanto already talked about. The reason that I'm here today is because he gave me the trust and the confidence and an opportunity to develop myself. It was a risk for him. He didn't know how it would end. Well, it ended quite okay. So that was a very important lesson for me, which I still think of. Now I'm a teacher at the conservatoire myself. So when a student does an audition, I will listen to, is there a good basic level, a good basic ID, and is someone able to develop himself as a musician? So that's the first link I wanted to talk about. So I went to conservatoire, and this was for 4 years. And there also you get a lot of opportunities to become an all-round musician as well. So I studied the euphonium as a soloist, but I also had a lot of teaching subjects. We had a lot of ensemble coaching lessons to play with the euphonium and the flute, and the euphonium and the marimba. Or I played a bassoon part together with clarinet and saxophone. And this was, all these ways were to make yourself creative and to be able to think out of the box and to create new events, new opportunities. Next to that, I also wanted to become a conductor. So when I was 17, I had my first orchestra I could work with. And then I studied for 4 years also this conducting course. And I'm very glad that I decided to do so. One of the other very good advice my teacher gave me, he said, spread your chances. Don't just become a solo euphonium player, because there's probably not enough work for you. Or you have to be the best in the world, and then you'll be never home, but you will be very busy. So spread your chances. Make sure you can do some playing, some teaching, maybe some conducting or composing. And I think that's a very good advice, because also when I teach a student, I not only teach the student, but I teach myself. I also think about what I'm telling them. Am I doing this right? Is my embouchure right? Do I give good information? And then as a conductor, again, these things come together. Because I play in an orchestra, I really feel as a conductor what I need to do to get the musicians to try to get them play better. So this combination, which we learned at the bachelor studies, was very interesting. And after that came the Master of Music, a 2-year course. I did a year of trombone classes to see if I could master another instrument where I was teaching on. Also, again, to broaden the opportunities around myself. So when I graduated, I got my first job, which was with the military police band. It was 2 days, and then you experience leadership in a very different way. It's the military, so everyone has a rank. I was a sergeant, and then you have a boss and you listen to him. And of course, it's sometimes as strict as this, but this also shows the way leadership can be very strict, very serious, a very different point of view than when you try to be a conductor and motivate and stimulate a group. So at this period, when I finished my studies with the brass band in Schoonhoven, you pronounced that perfectly, by the way, that was a very interesting period, because we became Dutch national champions, and we got the opportunity to go to a lot of events, to European competitions, to world championships, and you get to meet new people. So the networking part what Mr. Christanto talked about, it was of major importance because you get to play everywhere in big halls with a lot of audience, and you meet a lot of new people. And then the best thing you can do at that point, I think, is to create new opportunities. In the last 10 years, I invested a lot. And with invested, I don't mean spending money, but I mean that if you give a lot of people a phone call, send them an email, and try to organize your own work, a lot of things can happen. I think a lot of musicians will practice a lot at school, then they sit back and wait for them to be asked by someone to give a concert. Well, most of the times you can wait a long time and nothing will happen. So I really try to develop a career by organizing workshops, organizing lessons, trying to contact composers for new pieces, and trying to really get into the picture yourself, but also be able to do something new and to add something to the instrument, to the repertoire, and hopefully in this way stimulate younger players to get enthusiastic. So is this leadership? Well, yes, but in a different way. It's not about being the leader and telling people what to do, but it's trying to be an example which others could follow if they are enthusiastic about it. As a musician, being a leader is not something that automatically will happen. If you achieve a lot of good things and you can do a lot of nice work, people will notice, people will start to appreciate you, and people will start to respect you. And then this is a different sort of leadership, which then automatically happens. You cannot buy it, you know, it has to exist. So this is something I tried to develop for 10 years when I finished my studies. And that might be a reason why I'm here as well, because I think it's a very interesting seminar. And for me, it's an opportunity to work with a big group of people from Indonesia, where I only know Puput and I know the restaurant in Bali, but it's great to see a lot of new people and have new contacts. So it's not only an opportunity for you, but also for me. And in this way, you invest again in your own career, and hopefully things will come out of this. So let's get back to, we were talking about Schoonhoven, the competitions that we won, and then talking about leadership within an orchestra. So I was talking a little bit about creating opportunities, but if you play in an orchestra, you are also a leader in your own group. We have the euphonium group, 3 euphoniums, 4 euphoniums, and then if you're on the first seat, you have to be able to cooperate, to work together. And this is a very interesting part, because if you're a leader of a small group, then you don't just tell them what to do, because they're all professionals. They all know what needs to happen, but maybe you will have a different idea. So by looking at each other, by communicating, by talking about parts, by giving confidence and giving opportunities, not playing all the solos yourself, but give some solos to the others. In this way, you can be a leader in a different way again. So I think that's a very interesting part to experience in an orchestra, because if you go then in front of an orchestra as a conductor, you don't have to do everything. The people will do it themselves in their own groups and work and really cooperate together in the best way they can. So then you can imagine, I said, spread your chances. That might get complicated if you do too many things at the same time. So there was a point where I did too many things at the same time. I played in this military police band. I conducted 2 orchestras. I was teaching. I was a project manager at the music school, and I had to practice. And then you notice that there are many opportunities and many things you can do, but there is a point where the quality might get less because you're doing too many things. So that was a point in 2014. There was a job with the Marine Band of the Royal Netherlands Navy. I was accepted for this orchestra, and it gave me a full-time job as a musician, a contract for the rest of my life, actually, until I retire. When I'm very old, I'm not able to play anymore. So this is a great opportunity, and I go there every day. I rehearse, and it's maybe sometimes a strict situation within the military, a different way of not being a leader, but accept leadership and be able to fulfill the role that's expected from you. But it gives a lot of stability and a lot of a stable income, so I can choose which things I really would like to do next to this. So now, a few years back, I decided to do this job and also conduct 2 orchestras and try to be a soloist and a teacher. These are all things that sounds like a lot, but they will all, as I said before, help each other and to evolve, to get better, and to improve yourself as a musician in general. So balancing this is very exciting. How do you balance things like this? It's a very difficult question. But I think you need to be critical always. Make sure that whatever you choose to do it the best you can. So when people come to listen to you, they hear that you worked hard for it and that you're not just trying to do everything you can get, no preparation, and make many mistakes, and then have this attitude. You see this a lot of people who, well, come across as very arrogant, and they tell that they are the best in the world, but then on stage it doesn't happen. I think it's and that's also what Mr. Christanto said. The integrity is a very important thing of being a musician and being a leader in general. Being creative in the 7 souls of leadership, this creativity is very important to create new opportunities. Being consistent, so practice and give it the best you can, is very important. Being brave, think outside of the box and do new things, which will not be expected. All these things come together, not only as a leader, but as a musician in general, when you start to work. And you don't always think about all these things because it will drive you crazy if you need to be aware of everything at the same time. But you can focus on one thing and just focus on, am I open-minded, or am I integer, or am I consistent? And just focus on one of these subjects and try to work on it for a month, for example, and try to improve yourself in this way. So let's talk a little bit about conducting. Conducting is a very, very, very interesting job. As a conductor, you are a leader of a group. But I remember 50 years ago in Holland, the conductors were called directors. And that's a very different name because a director is the boss. And now things have changed. I think in society, things have changed. Because of social media, the world has become much more small, and it's very easy to contact with everyone you would like to know. You can even comment on the President of the United States on Twitter if you want. So it's very easy to communicate. And I think the gap between a president and a normal person have become just maybe a little bit smaller than normal. So the role of a conductor has changed as well. I think the conductor now is more of a mentor than the director. Of course, as a conductor, you need to be well prepared. You need to know your score and have your musical IDs. But my wind band is around 75 musicians. It's big. And it's impossible for me to make them all happy. There's always someone who will not be happy. But if I have a good plan and I can try to explain myself the best way possible, and try to communicate in different ways to all these different kind of people, you try to get the same idea about making music in the whole group. And that's for me the most important thing, that everyone has the same idea. Why are they coming to play in this orchestra? And what do they want to achieve? And if I have 75 people, or maybe 70 and 5, let's see what they do. But if they all have the same ideas, then what will happen is that people who are enthusiastic, they will start to practice more. They will start to attend the rehearsals better. So I have less gaps. And then the level will go up automatically. And I think sometimes as a conductor, you're focused too much only on playing as good as possible. But achieving a high level, a high standard can only be achieved with a good atmosphere and a good organization behind it. So this way of being a leader is very interesting because you're continuously balancing and searching for the right path to get everyone involved instead of going in front of the orchestra and tell people what to do. That's, in my opinion, not the way it works anymore. As a teacher, that's maybe not so different. If you teach children and younger children, I think you have to be strict, and not strict negatively, but strict in a way that they have a very clear idea of what they are going to do. But these children are very creative most of the times, and you need to make use of this creativity to make them enthusiastic for the instrument. And the biggest problem in our country is when you go to a music school as a teacher, you get 20 minutes to work every week with one student. Well, 20 minutes is, well, it's nothing. You know, they unpack their bags, they play 5 notes, and they go home. So this is the biggest challenge in our country at the moment. So what you see is that a lot of people are teaching more and more in their own room, in their own backyard, so they have more time. So as a teacher there, you have to be very creative. But then my new role in the conservatoire as a teacher is very different. We will start soon with 9 or 10 euphonium players maybe. And my role there is very different. And that's something I think about for months. How can I be the best teacher? And how can I stimulate and motivate and give them confidence and make them creative and make them ready for when they finish? So they are independent, developed musicians. This is something I think about a lot, and that's something you need to try. Some of these students will need a very positive attitude. Some of these students just need to be told they need to practice more and they need to do their homework. And then you need to balance this. So this adaptive way of approaching teaching makes it very interesting as well. So I think you notice that what I'm talking a lot about very different things, about very different subjects, but everything I'm doing in my daily life has some sort of leadership. Sometimes I'm more waiting, and sometimes I need to be very active. Sometimes I need to be creative. Sometimes I need to give opportunities or be very clear about how I don't want it to be. And this way, that's maybe the most interesting part of your job as a musician, to get into all these roles and not just play the euphonium and that's all, you know? Being an entrepreneur, we talked about this already earlier. I would really recommend being very active yourself. If you want to make a CD, for example, you feel like you really need to do it, organize it, you know? I made a CD in 2017 with 5 new big compositions by new composers, and I got them all for free. I didn't pay money for none of these pieces. I just had a plan that I would record the piece, and the composers, we talked and worked together. I got 3 orchestras on my CD for free, you know, just by giving phone calls and have a good plan behind it. It's the same with doing workshops. Last year with COVID, I have been home for 14 months. I have not worked for 14 months, maybe 10 days. But still, you're trying to find new opportunities. And I've never met so many new people as last year. Now here in Indonesia, but also in Colombia or in Japan or in Brazil or in, well, Japan, because you are trying to be active and share the things you have learned, the things you have practiced, and open new ways of meeting people. So that's something I would really suggest to everyone. If you have a goal or a dream, just go for it and organize it. And don't wait for someone else to do it for you, because they won't do it for you. Well, maybe they do if you ask them nicely. But so probably that's my main conclusion for this. Develop yourself as broad as you can. Everything is attached to each other. If you play, if you teach, if you conduct, everything is coming together. I've started composing as well a little bit, and then you get new insights as well, what a musician can or cannot do. And then the last subject I maybe like to talk about is the use of social media. I've been building an Instagram account for 5 years by trying to post good quality videos and photos and some interesting posts. And I think a lot of people don't use it as they could. They feel maybe too shy, or they don't think it's good enough, or, I think it's very important to realize what social media can do for your career. Some musicians, we have not seen them for a year now because they have been at home and maybe they have played 6 hours a day, but we've never seen them. But there are also people who have been posting a lot and trying to open new ways of work like that. But make sure, if you make use of social media, put quality on it. You make use of good photos, good videos, good texts, and make a little plan, maybe how you post, when you post. For example, the time is very important. I try to post around 3 o'clock in the afternoon because Indonesia is still awake, but America is also still awake. It's just waking up, This use of social media, it's of major importance these days. I think Puput knows all about it because that's the reason why we actually know each other, is because you meet each other on Instagram, So that's great. Maybe that doesn't has to do with leadership in general, but I'm trying to, the content that I post, I try to make it interesting enough that people have something to look forward to or to have something to enjoy. And probably there are people who hate it and don't like it. Well, they go to another profile, they just ignore it. But it's a way of trying to be an example and trying to get a lot of, a lot of attention to the instrument as well. And that's a different form of leadership, probably, again, because in this way, you just get people to be interested in the euphonium in general. So a lot of subjects and a lot of different things probably I talked about, but I hope you can conclude that whatever job you do, you are a leader in some way. Sometimes you have to be very shy and let things happen. Sometimes you have to step forward and be very consistent. You can be very creative, but still very brave and open-minded. And I'm just telling these souls of leadership what we talked about earlier. And be integer all the time. There are many musicians who like to talk bad about other people. It happens a lot, sadly enough, but stay true to yourself and people will appreciate it much more, I think. So I think that's it. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you good luck with the seminar.
Okay, thank you very much, Robert. That was very inspiring.
Thank you.
I've got so many meaningful insights, and these are several key takeaways from your presentation. So we could train ourselves to become an entrepreneur and learn about leadership through small tasks or our daily life as a music student by managing concerts, arranging workshops, etc. If we become a teacher or leader later, we have to learn to give confidence and trust and opportunity to develop our students. We have to spread our chances, not only in one field, to invest a wider career opportunities. There is also a point where when you do too many things, and it will be maximum effort. Nevertheless, if those activities are balanced, those activities can support each other. Always do the best, yet don't be vain. Being a musician should be creative, like thinking outside the box, and have integrity. The world is getting smaller. It is very easy to communicate now. The role of a conductor is more of a mentor than a director nowadays. And when you communicate with a lot of members in the orchestra, you have to translate or interpret their ideas too. As a conductor, we have to have a good plan, because when you hear your team, the team members will work if they have a good atmosphere. We have to get everyone involved is essential. When being a teacher, you should be strict. If you have so little time with your students, you have to be very creative. In the conservatoire, you see different enthusiasm between different students. As leaders, you have to be flexible and easy to adapt. If you want to make an album, organize it, make a good planning. You don't wait for others to work on our dreams. Use your social media, post good quality videos and photos. We need to realize that social media can do so much more for us. We have to be consistent and stay true to ourselves. And also don't talk bad about others. So that's it. Thank you very much.
That's a great conclusion. I couldn't have done it myself better.
Thank you. So now, Robert and Mas Chris, ladies and gentlemen, we are entering the Q&A session. There will be 2 sessions of Q&A. Each session will consist of 3 questions. Please mention your name, your organization or community, and to whom would you like to lead your question to. Untuk para hadirin sekalian, kita sudah mengarah ke sesi tanya jawab. Boleh ditanya lewat chat juga boleh, mau langsung juga boleh, sambil diarahkan ke Mas Chris atau ke Mas Robert. Ya, silakan. Bentar saya lihat di chatnya ya. Okay, so we got our first question, sorry. First, how to build confidence in becoming a leader? How do you become a good leader? Or how do you become a leader who can build a team well without making the team feel pressured? These are for both speakers. So please, Mas Chris first and then Robert.
Me first?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
How to become a good leader? Ya, maybe I have told tadi saya sudah banyak jelaskan ya bahwa yang pertama pasti kita punya kompetensi. Ya, if you have the good competence, we will become a good leader. But yang juga yang tadi yang saya sudah sebutkan bahwa 7 elemen itu juga sangat penting ya, termasuk konsisten dan persisten dan juga integritas ya. Integritas itu sangat penting juga sih. Jadi tadi saya sebenarnya sudah banyak bicara gitu ya. Dan untuk menjadi leader yang bagus itu butuh we need a long time process to become a good leader. Jadi memang itu sebuah that was continuously, itu sesuatu yang kita berjalan terus gitu. Jadi butuh we need a process, we need the time, taking the time to learn, to adaptive. Jadi kalau kita jalankan itu terus menerus ya pasti kita akan bisa. Karena every single of us have a different ways to become a good leader. Kita nggak bisa memaksakan bahwa my type it's good for you, not like that. Jadi butuh proses. I think it's the process is important. If we can consistent and persistent to good leader, butuh proses bertahun-tahun. Untuk kalau saya pribadi saya butuh waktu yang cukup lama gitu. Dari saya dulu adalah orang yang sangat tertutup ya, jadi saya harus belajar mau menjadi terbuka dengan orang lain, mau bisa berbagi, itu butuh proses gitu. Bagaimana saya bisa berkomunikasi dengan orang itu juga butuh proses. I grow up with a long time gitu, jadi sangat lama sebetulnya. Tapi itu proses. Jadi yang nggak bisa kita bohongi itu adalah prosesnya, bukan hasilnya sebetulnya. Jadi hasil itu belakang, tapi yang paling penting adalah kita mau berproses. Saya sudah banyak berkecimpung di dunia musik, menurut saya sudah banyak melakukan banyak hal gitu ya. Saya nggak cuma menjadi musisi, saya nggak cuma menjadi konduktor, saya nggak cuma jadi arranger, saya nggak cuma ngajar, tapi saya sudah melakukan banyak hal gitu. Bahkan menjadi berbisnis juga saya sudah melakukan itu. Jadi ada banyak hal, dan itu yang membuat kita jadi banyak experience-nya. Ya, menurut saya itu proses yang paling penting, proses. That's from me.
Thank you. So process is the most important thing. Okay, next to Mr. Robert.
Well, the question is about how do you give confidence so people will feel comfortable and will get the best out of themselves. I think as a conductor, you need to be aware of the way you approach people. I think most people will come to a rehearsal and they really want to play the best they can, but they will struggle with problems in their parts or technical problems or musical problems. And there are two ways of giving feedback. One way is saying, it's bad, you need to play better. That's one way of giving feedback. The other way of giving feedback is, can you try to do this and this because this will happen? And that's a different way of communicating, because then I will give feedback on how someone's playing, and I give a solution to make it better. In this way, I try to improve someone's playing, and then in that way, they will play better and feel more confident, and the level will go up, and their happiness will go up. And of course, if someone's not practicing and is lazy and is not doing what he should do, you can be very more direct if you need to be. Of course, that's a part of the job too. But I think giving confidence is the way of communicating with people is very important.
Okay, thank you. And then for the second question, so I'm just going to read it. Hi, I'm Maria and a music enthusiast. I have a question for both speakers. To be a leader to yourself, sometimes you are facing obstacles, feeling inferior, feeling lazy. How do you improve your enthusiasm and creativity? Mas Chris lagi, duluan.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe there's many people who have a struggle with themselves gitu. Especially for me, saya juga sama. Me too. I have a struggle with my inferior. Saya juga adalah seorang yang inferior gitu, sama aja. Ya. Justru that's a challenge for us, how to kita bisa melawan itu, bagaimana caranya. Yang pertama adalah kita punya komitmen bahwa saya harus I have to change my mindset gitu, bahwa apa yang kita miliki itu saya harus bisa berbagi. Itu yang saya rasakan. Saya dari seorang yang inferior, saya merasa bagaimana caranya saya bisa menjadi orang yang berbeda adalah I want to share myself to another person. Kalau sudah seperti itu, nanti kita akan berubah dengan sendirinya. Dari orang yang tertutup, dari orang yang malas, kalau kita punya kemauan untuk berbagi, itu pasti kita akan bisa melampaui itu. Berbagi dalam banyak hal ya. Misalnya kita berbagi sebagai pendidik, atau kita berbagi sebagai pebisnis gitu ya. Saya mendirikan Maple Orchestra juga, saya punya motivasinya adalah saya berbagi gitu ya. Berbagi dengan sesama rekan-rekan musisi gitu. Saya berbagi pekerjaan pada mereka gitu. Share the opportunity for another musician gitu. Itu spiritnya. Jadi spiritnya adalah kita mau berbagi dulu, share yourself tadi yang saya sudah katakan. Dari situ nanti kita akan pelan-pelan akan menjadi orang yang mau terbuka, dan kita nggak menjadi orang yang malas lagi, karena kita prinsipnya kita mau share your life. Itu yang paling penting.
Okay, thank you. Then the main motivation is to share and to give to others. Okay, then to Robert.
So, hi Maria. This is a very good and interesting question, because maybe it will seem that I'm always enthusiastic and always creative, but the last 14 months with COVID-19 were extremely difficult, because normally my life would be quite busy and a lot of work and a lot of jobs and a lot of concerts. But last year, my last concert was in September 2020, which is now, well, let's say 6, 7, 8 months ago. It's horrible. And I have had big issues with my motivation, because for me, I like to practice, but I need a reason to practice. I don't just practice hours a day because that I want to. If I have a lot of events and concerts and things coming up, I will be very motivated and work hard and really go for it. But yes, there have been moments where I have not been playing a lot last year. Even moments where maybe for 4 weeks I didn't touch my instrument. It's very bad, probably, if I say it like this, but I think many musicians, amateur and professional, have struggled with this problem. Normally, there is not a big issue, because there are so many things to do and so many things to prepare. And sometimes, yes, I'm lazy. When I get lazy, and then I mean on the euphonium, you need to do your basic exercises every day. And these basic exercises, after 15 years, they become very boring because they're the same sort of always. So sometimes I do something illegal. I put on Netflix and a nice series, and I watch a series for 1 hour and play exercises. Some people will now say I'm crazy, or well, it works for me sometimes, just to play my long tones and flexibilities and have some distraction. Because if that would be the reason I do it or don't do it, well, then I'm just going for it like this. So yeah, I get it, and I think it's very important to set yourself a goal if you are feeling lazy or not motivated. Just maybe plan a date and try to do a recording next month and work hard for a month, and then you have achieved a new goal. That's something I did. For example, I made a Harry Potter video on YouTube with Harry Potter music for 8 euphoniums. I made my own arrangement, and then I had to record all these voices. It was extremely difficult and challenging, but then it was a huge project you had to work on, and I could work for a month, so it worked for me. But well, good luck with the laziness. I know how it feels.
Very true. Laziness is a very big obstacle. Okay, I got 2 more questions, and the time is almost 4 p.m. here, so maybe this is the last ones. Okay, for the third one, I think this is for both of you two. So, what leadership type is suitable to apply to certain music community or music group? Tipe kepemimpinan apa yang cocok untuk suatu grup musik atau komunitas musik? Okay, dari Dodi Sarwono ya. Okay, maybe Robert should start now.
Can you say the question once more?
What leadership type is suitable to apply to certain musical community or music group?
Well, it really depends on what type of ensemble or type of work or things you are doing. We talked about conducting, what sort of type and leadership we need. We talked about the teaching, which is very more one-to-one, or if you have a school, a class in a school, you need to be very different as well as a teacher. Maybe you're less detailed and more focused on the group atmosphere and trying to achieve something together. I think the strict, aggressive leader like that, in the music scene, we don't need it too much. I think be kind, be respectful, be open-minded, and try to think about the reason why how you can help other people. People want to make music and they probably want to enjoy a hobby. So that's your main focus, how to help them with that, instead of, I'm not teaching at the conservatoire for myself. For example, I'm trying to improve my students and hopefully add something to the euphonium world and to get the standards up and create some opportunities there. It's not about me as a teacher, for example, it's about the students. So these are all things you need to consider when you do your different jobs, probably.
Okay, thank you. Agree. And to Mas Chris.
Okay, yes, it's same with Sir Robert. It depends of the community ya. Jadi tergantung dari berbagai komunitasnya. Karena tipe kepemimpinan itu ada banyak sekali. Ada yang transformational, ada yang charismatic dan sebagainya. Kalau saya melihatnya tergantung dari what culture dari grup musik tersebut. Karena misalnya komunitas musik yang dilakukan oleh kaum amatir dengan kaum yang terpelajar, misalnya dari komunitas, katakanlah dari komunitas sekolah musik atau komunitas dari kampus musik, tentu berbeda pendekatannya gitu ya. Jadi sama seperti yang Mr. Robert katakan, bagaimana pemimpin bisa men-encourage, bisa men-involve, bisa supaya orang yang terlibat di dalamnya itu bisa bermain musik dengan bagus. Ya, gaya komunikasinya jelas. Kalau kita menjadi pemimpin di kalangan mahasiswa dengan pemimpin di kalangan anak sekolah tentu berbeda. Ya. Gaya komunikasinya berbeda, gaya kepemimpinannya berbeda. Kalau kita di komunitas awam, misalnya di komunitas orang-orang yang tidak belajar musik secara formal, pasti tentu pendekatannya, approach-nya akan berbeda juga pendekatannya. Jadi sebetulnya tidak ada satu jenis leadership yang paten. Semua sebetulnya disesuaikan dengan masing-masing kelompok. Gitu. Jadi saya dulu waktu saya mengajar di Jakarta, dengan saya mengajar di Semarang itu sudah beda gitu. Gaya komunikasinya berbeda. Ya, between both Jakarta and Semarang has a different culture. Sangat berbeda orang-orangnya, sangat berbeda gaya pergaulannya. Mahasiswa yang di Jakarta dengan mahasiswa di Semarang, mahasiswa di Jogja, kita punya different culture, kita punya different language, kita punya gaya yang berbeda gitu. Jadi nggak bisa kita kalau kita mengajar di Jakarta dengan mengajar di Semarang berbeda gitu. Kita harus bisa beradaptasi lagi gitu. Ya, lalu saya juga memimpin paduan church choir gitu ya. Amatir church choir. Saya juga mengajarnya juga gayanya harus berbeda juga. Jadi Mas Dodi nggak ada yang bisa pas satu jenis, nggak bisa. Jadi kita harus bisa menyesuaikan dengan siapa di dalam grup itu, apakah mereka itu anak-anak, apakah itu orang dewasa, apakah orang yang kuliah musik, yang belajar musik, atau itu kaum amatir, atau juga ya, masalah culture, misalnya orang Jakarta dengan orang Semarang, dengan orang Jogja, dengan orang Medan mungkin beda culture-nya, approach-nya berbeda sekali gitu. Jadi disesuaikan dengan kondisinya. Itu dari saya.
Oke, terima kasih Mas. Okay, for the last, Mr. Robert stated about not taking too much works or jobs. This is sometimes challenging for us youngsters. We tend to take as many opportunities as we can. helping others work, etc. So how do you manage to prioritize things that came to you? I think this is for Mr. Robbert.
Well, that's a very good question, and a very difficult one, because I know what you feel, and I know what you mean, because if you try to be a very broad musician and do different things, you can have a lot of work and too much work if you want. There are two things to keep in mind. Is one, can I prepare the jobs as well as I can? So do I deliver quality still? So if you're just running to the one job and to the next job, to the next job, you don't have any time to think about what you're going to do, then you might deliver not the right amount of quality as possible. But if you're very good at playing clarinet and you can do 10 jobs in a week and you don't have to practice for it because you cannot play it flawlessly, well, then that could also work for you. So the first answer would be, is there enough time to prepare the different jobs and do it as good as you can? And two, why do you do it? Do you do it for yourself? Do you do it to help someone else? Or do you just do it because you do it? Or is it for the money? Or just consider the reasons why you want to work and do all these different things. So for me, at this point, I made a decision a few weeks ago to stop conducting in Schoonhoven, the brass band, simply because I don't have enough time to do it good enough, in my opinion. Maybe they will say to me it's good enough, but I don't feel I can give the best quality I can. So I stepped down. So for me, after this summer, I will be playing as a player in the Marine Band. I will do some solo playing. Then I will teach, which has to do with playing. It's a combination. And then I will conduct one night a week because I really like it. But then I have very clear focus points and everything fits together just a bit better. And I have time to deliver the quality I want to.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it for the Q&A session because the time is ticking still.
Patrice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a last question for the Robbert, ya. Can I?
Silakan, Mbak, terakhir.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Robbert. Could we make a cooperation or teamwork with your schools or your orchestra, because from the news program from Ministry of Indonesia make to develop our resources about yeah, you know Indonesia, we don't have the real of brass band, we don't have the real of fanfare, we just have wind. And then how to requirement, what's the requirement if we make teamwork or cooperation with your school?
I cannot answer the question already because I will start in September. So I will get a contract after the summer with all the new students. And I have a meeting very soon. I think in 1 month's time, I have a meeting with the conservatoire, and I will bring it up if there is a cooperation possible. So I think we need to stay in touch and talk about these opportunities and see what we can organize together.
Okay. About internship also, yeah. I think internship, yeah, we have a student here and can go to your school. Yes. for 1 month or 1 week, like that. And yeah,
that's like always possible. I think you have also a scholarship called Erasmus. I think it's worldwide, and I have 2 students next year who will come from September to January for 4 months to study with me as part of their education in their own country. So yes, that's possible.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mbak. Udah? Sudah bisa? Oh ya, oke. Para hadirin yang berbahagia, kini kita telah sampai di penghujung acara. Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada Bapak Ibu sekalian dan para hadirin yang sudah menghadiri webinar hari ini. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are in the conclusion of today's webinar. We would like to thank the committee of the events, our lecturers, our speakers, our dear webinar participants, and those of you who have supported the realization of this seminar. But before we end the seminar, allow us to do a photo session. Please turn on your video feature and share us your widest smile. Mari semuanya buka kameranya, terus kita sesi foto dulu bersama sebentar, lalu selesai. Dari Mbak Puput yang mau foto apa gimana, Mbak?
Ya, Patrice yang ngomong 1, 2, 3 aku fotoin.
Oh gitu, oke. Okay, everyone's ready? Please open your camera. Everyone set? Okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, maybe another pose. 1, 2, 3. Last one, maybe. Oh, enough? Okay, great. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again. Thank you very, very much. Stay safe and stay healthy and stay inspired. So this is the conclusion of the webinar. See you next time. Terima kasih untuk semuanya. Sampai jumpa di kesempatan berikutnya.
Ya, jangan lupa isi form Google Form yang ada di kolom chat ya untuk mendapatkan e-certificate. Oke. Terima kasih Robbert. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. Thank you, Mr. Robbert.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Robbert. Thank you, Mr. Fernando.
Thank you so much for all faculty of Indonesian Art Institute for the good opportunity. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, and I wish you good luck. And
Thank you.
let's keep in
Yes,
touch.
maybe we can make another webinar
Yes,
with Mr. Robbert and
that will
next
be
time
exciting.
with another topics maybe.
Can you play euphonium?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You have to give us the workshop, the euphonium.
Yes, normally I play a lot in these workshops with exercises. I'm not used to talking for a long time, but it's fun.
Yeah, Mr. Robbert. In Indonesia, don't have many player of euphonium, and you need you to develop the resources of euphonium players use.
That would be great. Why not? We need more euphonium players everywhere.
Yeah.
Because the euphonium is very rare in Indonesia. There's not a lot people know about euphonium.
So it needs to change.
Belum pada keluar.
Yeah.
Here, many people in the Netherlands, they play. Old people played euphonium for a long time because when the trumpet didn't work anymore, they gave them a tuba or a euphonium because it was more easy. So all the old people played the euphonium, but now it's changing and more young people are liking to practice it. So it's an improvement.
Okay, then shall we?
Google Form-nya baru kebuka, jadi bisa diulang ya mengisi certificate.
Please fill the form in the chat to gain your e-certificate.
So Robbert, as a teacher also in Johan schools, speaker academic.
Yes. Yes. Well, I can talk a little bit about it. We have a speaker academy, we call it. It sounds very big, but it's very simple. I go to the north of our country 4 times or maybe 5 times a year, depends. And then I just teach. So euphonium players, everyone can get a lesson for an hour. And sometimes I have 7 students or 12 or maybe a complete group from an orchestra, and we just work together. But it's fun because we have 4 or 5 students who come every time for the last 5 years, and then you really start to hear improvement, and and the quality get better, and it's fun to do. It's very easy to organize.
Yeah, you can bring the student or the brass band to collaboration with Indonesia student also.
Yes, bring a brass band to Indonesia. It's very complicated.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we don't have the reel of brass band and fanfare, Robert. We need that.
It is possible. I know that the brass band Schoonhoven, we went to South Africa a long time ago for a concert tour. We did concerts and teaching, and so yeah, why not? Why not Indonesia?
Maybe after pandemic we can discuss about the visiting of your students in Indonesia. Maybe you can
Makasih temanya
visiting,
Mas, nanti bikin ya.
yes, you can visiting us after the pandemic, maybe in Jogja and Semarang. Mr. Robbert Vos, maybe you can share your knowledge at my college too. I'm a lecturer of one of seminary, theological seminary in Semarang, and I teach church music program. And maybe you can share about your knowledge next time, maybe.
Yes, of course.
Yes, after this, maybe after this I will invite you.
I will send you in the chat. I will send you my email address.
Yes, okay. Or your you can share my number also, maybe.
Sure.
You can chat me. You can chat me.
Yes, Robert, if you come to visit Indonesia again, please come Yogyakarta. Yeah, we have Institute of the Arts here. not just Bali. Terkenalnya Bali, cuy.
We did a few years back. We did a sort of world trip for 4 months. We traveled, my wife and me. So we first went to Australia for 2.5 months. We toured around the whole country, and then to New Zealand. And then we wanted to relax a little bit, and we went to Bali. So which was very nice, but then the volcano was working a little bit, you know. It was a bit scary.
Yeah. That's several years ago, maybe.
Yes, 2018.
2010, yeah.
Yeah.
2018.
Gunung Agung Mount.
Great.
Great. Kenapa pada nggak mau keluar sih? Stay here because we have Robert here.
Ya udah tutup aja Mbak, biar gak bingung yang lain.
Oh ya, okay, thank you very much, Robert. We can talk again in other seminar or others.
Of course,
yeah.
but I need to practice my Indonesian.
Yeah, please come. with Wiba also, with Johan, with Anu.
I have my
bring all.
I have my Duolingo app for the language, you know.
Yeah,
but it's very complicated.
Don't work
yeah,
so much.
I think Netherlands have the same little same of Indonesian language also. Like a wortel, handuk, mama, papa, like that. We have the same language, and we not confused.
No, we have sort of the same language, but I think also the Dutch language is very complicated.
Yeah.
I heard it a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Say
Thank you
goodbye.
very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Miss
Thank you very
Puput,
much.
Miss Patricia.
Terima
Nice to
kasih.
meet you, Miss Robert.
Nice to meet you, Mr.
Christanto. Terima kasih.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms.
Salam buat
Patricia, for
semuanya,
the
ya.
translations and the overviews. Very well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I will send you a record. You can also see on YouTube. We will send certificate also. Yeah. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you so much.